This is one of the rarest plays in baseball. It's been successfully pulled off less than 300 times in over 100 years. It's rarer than a triple play, rarer than a cycle, rarer than a no-hitter. Some people have called it unfair. There have been fights started over it. It was once described as the meanest thing known to baseball. This play has cost a Hall of Famer his job. It's happened to end games. It's happened in the World Series. It once got 2 people arrested. It's even been tried with a potato instead of a ball. That's right, a potato. The hidden ball trick has been around since the early days of baseball, when it was used by players like Scranton Bill Coughlin, who did it a record 9 times. Scranton Bill was so good at the hidden ball trick that he even used it in the World Series. Following a mound visit, he hid the ball under his arm and carried it back to third base, where he tagged out the runner. This was the first and only time the hidden ball trick was used in the World Series. In 1915, the manager of the Cincinnati Reds got into a fistfight with the umpire after one of his players was tagged out with a hidden ball. After the game, both men were arrested for disturbing the peace and fined $5 each. The hidden ball trick has been used by Hall of Famers too. Todd Helton was an MLB first baseman for 17 years, but never actually pulled one off. Until 2013, that is, when he pretended to throw the ball back to the pitcher, only to tag out an unsuspecting Matt Carpenter to end the inning. He also hit a homer later that game. In 2019, Miguel Cabrera fooled poor Ahire Adrianza with a fake throw, catching him off the base for an out. Now, this was spring training, but that didn't make it any less embarrassing for Adrianza. In 2017, Todd Frazier was bamboozled by a fake throw from Ryan Goins, who tagged him out to end the inning. Tyler Wade had something similar happen to him in 2019, when he had to return to second after Mike Trout made a highlight reel catch. Trout threw the ball into Andrelton Simmons, who sneakily caught Wade leaning off the bag, a rare instance of an 8-4-6 double play. Back in 1977, White Sox first baseman Jim Spencer had his pitcher throw over 8 times in a row. On the 8th attempt, runner Ron LaFleur was so tired that he didn't even notice Spencer hadn't thrown the ball back, and was tagged out. In the 80s, Marty Barrett of the Red Sox was a master of the hidden ball trick. He would get the ball in from the outfield, tuck it between his finger and the back of his glove, then show the supposedly empty glove to the runner. He used this technique successfully 3 times in his career, including twice against the California Angels, just 2 weeks apart. Dave Bergman was another famous trickster, fooling both Alan Wiggins and Ozzie Guillen. Guillen was especially susceptible to the hidden ball trick, falling for it not once, but twice in his career.
The hidden ball trick. Ozzie, well, that's at least the 3rd time that I've seen that happen.
Matt Williams of the Giants would ask the runner to step off the bag so he could clean it, only to tag them out, like he did Rafael Bornegal in 1994. In 1988, Steve Jeltz of the Phillies pulled a fast one on Gary Carter when he tagged him as the Mets runner was switching his feet. This play ended the game, and the Phillies won 5-1. To make matters worse, this all happened on Carter's birthday. The hidden ball trick has also been used in college baseball, like when LSU infielder and future MLB All-Star DJ LeMahieu was caught off second base. LSU argued that he got back in time, and the slow-motion replay showed they were right. It didn't matter though, the call stood and UC Irvine won 8-2. Kyle Tucker is another future All-Star who fell victim to the hidden ball trick. As a minor leaguer, Tucker was duped by third baseman Lucas Erceg, who faked a throw back to the pitcher, then proceeded to hold onto the ball for over 30 seconds. Willians Astudillo was never an all-star, but he's still one of my favorite players. One reason for this is the hidden ball trick he carried out in 2018 with the Rochester Red Wings. This wasn't a first for the Red Wings either. Earlier that season, infielder Jermaine Curtis used the trick to nab Kevin Smith at third. In 2013, Max Stassi made his MLB debut for the Astros, going 2 for 3 in his first game. Things turned south in the 5th though, when he thought he was out on a force at second, and began jogging off the field. It was at this point that Ian Kinsler, who'd pretended not to have the ball, ran forward to tag the unlucky rookie. Speaking of unlucky, Stassi got his first Major League RBI just 2 days later, when he was hit in the face with a fastball. Third baseman Mike Lowell performed 2 successful hidden ball tricks in his MLB career, once against the Expos, and once against the Diamondbacks, when he deceived Luis Torrero with a fake throw. The D-backs were victimized yet again in 2007, when Red Sox shortstop Julio Lugo got Alberto Callaspo with a hidden ball. However, Mike Lowell, who was with Boston at the time, said that it was not a quote, real hidden ball trick, since pitcher Todd Jones did most of the work selling the play. Despite Lowell's opinion, Lugo's play is generally considered a hidden ball trick. It was also the last one seen in the majors for 6 years. It was attempted, like when the Padres' Everett Cabrera tried one on Pablo Sandoval. Unfortunately though, time had already been called, so it didn't count. In 2013, however, the play saw a revival. In a game between the Dodgers and the Rays, Juan Uribe advanced to third on a sacrifice fly. As Uribe stood there, Tampa's James Loney tossed the ball to shortstop Yunel Escobar, who threw it to third baseman Evan Longoria. Uribe, who was none the wiser, took his foot off the bag for a split second, just enough time for Longoria to tag him out. Uribe's teammates poked fun at him afterwards, giving him a base with a cleat taped to the top of it. They brought in a magician, who taught him how to make a baseball disappear. Even the fans got in on the action. Prior to a game, the third baseman signed this young fan's ball, which was then used to tag Uribe out, a not-so-hidden ball trick. The antics didn't stop when he left LA either. In 2016, when Uribe was with Cleveland, second baseman Brandon Phillips scared the 37-year-old with a fake hidden ball trick. He retired soon after, and while he never said it was out of fear of another hidden ball trick, we can't be sure that it wasn't not for that reason. Brandon Phillips tried the trick for real in 2017, when he attempted it on Eduardo Nunez of the Giants. He tagged Nunez, but since play had not yet resumed, it didn't count. Jose Altuve put his own twist on the play in 2016. Following a double by the Brewers' Chris Carter, the Astros second baseman slipped the ball into his back pocket in the hopes that Carter wouldn't see it. It was a bold move, but sadly Carter wasn't fooled. Even if it had worked though, this trick couldn't be done today. In 2019, MLB made it illegal for a fielder to put the ball inside their uniform in order to deceive the runner. And we all know Jose Altuve would never cheat, right? Now, usually the hidden ball trick isn't planned out, so much as it is a spur-of-the-moment attempt to get an extra out. However, that's not the case with this next one. It was the 1982 College World Series, Wichita State versus Miami. The runner on first was Phil Stevenson, who had 86 stolen bases that year and still holds the NCAA record for steals. He was a hard out on the bases, to put it lightly, which might be why Miami pitcher Mike Kasperzak tried to pick him off, firing a throw that went sailing over the first baseman's head. The fielders chased after the ball, while Stevenson advanced to second easily. Or so he thought. See, Kasperzak had never actually thrown the ball. As Stevenson took off, the pitcher lobbed the ball over to the shortstop for an easy out. Stevenson never stood a chance. Miami went on to win the national championship, and the play was dubbed the Grand Illusion. This is probably the most famous example of a trick play like this actually working, but it's not the only one. In April of 2024, Delsea Regional High School in New Jersey got national attention when they used a fake pickoff play to win a game. In 2014, Beale City High School in Michigan did the same thing, executing a hidden ball trick to win the regional state finals. And it's not just in baseball either. In 2019, the Trine University softball team pulled off a fake pickoff to second, taking home the Division III Super Regionals. Then there's the Savannah Bananas, who put their own spin on the hidden ball trick, in the way only they can. In terms of unconventional strategy though, there's nothing I've seen that can rival this final play. It was 1987, and Dave Bresnahan was a backup catcher in the final season of his minor league career. Now, Dave came from a long line of catchers. His great-uncle, Roger Bresnahan, was the first MLB catcher to wear shin guards, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1945. On this day, though, Dave was the one who made history. See, prior to the game, Bresnahan had gone to the supermarket, where he bought a single potato.
I peeled the potato and played catch with it, just to make sure it would work. It looked good.
In the fifth inning, with a runner on third, he put his plan into motion.
Had to tell the umpire when a guy got to third base that my glove was broke in order to retrieve the potato, which was in a spare catcher's glove. So I swapped gloves with the potato in it, went back to the catcher area, and heart was beating. And I thought, well, I got to do it now.
On the next pitch, he jumped up and fired the potato into the outfield. The runner jogged home, where Dave was waiting with the real ball.
And there was still a look of astonishment on their faces, like, he threw a potato?
The field umpire picked up the potato, laughing as he did it.
He says it's a flippin' potato. He didn't say flippin'.
Unfortunately, the play was not allowed to count. The run scored, and Bresnahan was pulled from the game. His manager, Orlando Gomez, fined him $50. Instead, Bresnahan paid him with 2 sacks of potatoes and a note reading, "This bud's for you." Dave was cut the next day.
I got released the next day, and I still can't believe after 25 years we're still talking about it.